Hey everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and it's Thursday, the 21st of May. So look, our moon's in Leo, and it's going to be void, of course, at 6:05. Get used to this, okay? Because this is going to get really, really tiring very, very quickly. Okay, so we got our moon, void of course, at 6:05. And, okay, so anyway, let's talk about this. So, void of course, moon at 6:05. Holiday weekend is approaching. And this is going to be a day of talking and not much else because, check your email. There's going to be a meeting followed by another meeting about meetings. And that's what we're going to be talking about, right? We're talking about meetings. We're talking about talking. What the hell? Everybody wants to get on this Leo bandwagon and hear themselves talk, okay? I tried it tonight, and I didn't like it, okay? I talk here, but it's tough to talk to you. I don't know. You got to think about what I would want to do for content and stuff like that, because I really want to not just talk for the sake of talking or try to get people to shower me with affection and little hearts and stuff like that, although they help, believe it or not. Been pretty much a lack of comments and not very much saving or sharing of the content lately, and it slows down the algorithm. Now, maybe I'm just lackluster and not really providing you with good enough information. That's a possibility because, look, we got our signals all messed up in Gemini, right? We get these void of course moons that are just going boom, boom, hitting us like winds. And this one's going to be quite the one, okay, because it's going to last all the way until Saturday morning. So it seems like the powers that be, they like to hear themselves talk just as much as everybody else. And that's the funny thing about the flow. It doesn't discriminate. The people in charge want to show that they're in charge. Why not, right? That's what Leo's about. Thanks, Leo Moon. This tech stuff, getting painful. Okay, we got Uranus sitting there with Gemini, in Gemini, with, we've got Mercury in Gemini. We got the sun in Gemini. We got all this stuff in there, and we got Uranus going, nope, throw that out. Let's do this. That presence of Saturn in Aries is making things hard, okay? And the difficulty that we're having with it is there to teach us something. I could use better lessons when I'm not standing there in front waiting for something and trying to find answers and on the phone with tech support and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been that way. But we're learning. We're using it. We're able to use it better. What price to pay, right? So anyway, and look, it's not supposed to be easy, but every single time, and put it this way, it's up to you or up to me to chase down a solution. There's no easy button there, right? Fiddlesticks. Anyway, but want to know what the meeting's about? Someone's come up with a brilliant idea to pile more work, pile up more on your plate, right? And it's going to make your job more difficult, and they're not going to compensate you for it. But, hey, changes nothing for us, but it just makes the bosses more money. It makes their job easier, right? Oh, look, we have a new metric that we can measure. Oh. Now, how good are those side hustles looking now? Looking pretty good, right? Now, energy spent in that direction is going to be well spent. And today's keyword is blah, 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 blah. All right, there's a bunch of keywords, but that's okay. And the color is a clementine. It's orange. Now, Gemini season has begun, and I hope you got off on the right foot last night. I tried. I didn't, not really feeling it. It was okay. Had like 35 people drop by and stuff like that. Had 4 different comments and things like that. I would like to have more to offer as far as that is. But the funny thing is, I can't hear myself. Now, I normally can't hear myself when I do this either. And it doesn't bother me. But for some reason, that bothered me. And I don't know why. I think it was because there was no, hey, can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you. Okay, great. Now that I know you can hear me, I can talk. I was kind of like tentative the whole time. So, look, love is still in the air. We still have Venus and Mars in a sextile, right? And we're striving against incredible obstacles to make our dreams happen. So guess what? Tech glitches, recalcitrant customers, inattentive bosses, we've got it all. Now, creatively, we have Venus in a square with Neptune. Squares are bad, right? Not so fast there. I've been telling you that this intuition is very important. Those around you who are thinking linearly are missing the point, and both early and often. Art doesn't require logic. It requires inspiration. The only question is, how weird is it going to get? Well, Venus and Jupiter are too strong in Cancer, and so the practical leaning side is probably going to win out over the weirdness, right? For now. Fight the urge to spin fantastic cover stories, unless that is your genre. Now, the moon in Leo is trying to planets in Aries. Be wary of getting too lax in these departments. In what departments? Well, the Aries departments. We've got Neptune and we've got Saturn there, that creativity and the speed bumps that are there and stuff like that. And why is my microphone so bloody loud? I don't know. I hope this doesn't clip like crazy. All right, so anyway, I've got a really strong signal on there that I'm not used to seeing. Okay, so look, I didn't like the experience on TikTok, and it looks like I'm having microphone issues right now, so we'll see. Look, I'm going to keep on looking for some kind of thing that I can do that's going to be a little bit more interactive with all of you. I want it to be a little bit more graphical, a little bit more informative, and a lot more educational, okay? I don't have enough followers on Instagram to go live there. I found that out. And then by the time I was doing it, I did not really have the motivation to get on YouTube and try that. So just putting it out there, right? Now, does that bother me? No, not really. Look, I'm going to keep on looking for that platform what I think it should be, right? Realize that the weekend is almost here and grant yourself permission to relax and enjoy a bit of downtime. Now, I told you about the moon. When the moon is trine Saturn at 6:05 p.m., we have a void of course moon in Leo. And that's going to end on Saturday morning, okay? So we're going to go Thursday night, Friday night, clearing the Saturday morning. Now, don't start anything new. Soak up any praise you may receive for a job that's well done. Could it be better? Yeah, of course it could be, but who cares? Just take the praise now. That's not for us to worry about. Understand that there are forces operating at a subconscious level. Okay? So don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Just relax. Just let it go. This will guide us when the time's right. Really. When the time's right, you'll find it, okay? Now, here's a couple of different interesting ones, right? In 1927, Charles Lindbergh flew across, that famous Lindbergh crossing in the spirit of St. Louis, lands in Paris after the first solo crossing of the Atlantic. And then, 5 years later, Amelia Earhart leaves from Newfoundland, flying 17 hours, and she lands in London, near Londonderry in Northern Ireland. And that's the first solo transatlantic flight by a woman. Now, do you think I'm obsessed with that? Just wait for this one, okay? The first American horror movie, the silent film Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, premieres in Chicago in 1908 on this date. And our birth is Albrecht Dürer. Born in 1471, he's a German Renaissance painter and printmaker. Yeah, okay, they say Adam and Eve, but whatever. All sorts of stuff, right? Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, Prince, all that stuff. Born in Nuremberg, Germany, died in 1528. So, let's sum it up, shall we? Our color is clementine, which is an orange, and our keyword is blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Today's a 6. Happy astrocatting.